Everybody knows that if you surf the web long enough, you'll see some pretty sick shit. This is especially true if you intentionally dwell into the dark underbelly of the internet. I've seen quite a few things I don't care to admit to, but one thing that I'll always remember is a site called normalpornfornormalpeople.com. The first strange thing about this site was that I didn't find it by looking into it. It was emailed to me by someone I didn't know. The email was as follows. Hi there. Found this site. Thought you might like it. Normalpornfornormalpeople.com. Pass it on for the good of mankind. It was a pretty standard issue chain letter, although the URL and the last remark really piqued my curiosity. I was having a very boring day when I got this, so I made sure my antiviruses were working and then I clicked on it. It was a very average, very generic looking site. It gave the impression that the creators just barely gave a shit about making it look professional. The author seemed to have a very tenuous grasp on English, and on the font page was a long, boring, incoherent rant that I didn't remember or have saved. The site had a strange tagline, which even today people haven't figured out the meaning of, which was normal porn for normal people, a website dedicated to the eradication of abnormal sexuality. And from the sound of that, I wasn't sure whether I was going to here to watch porn or I stumbled onto some kind of ingenious program. But I was here now, and I was very, very curious to see what normal people get their rocks off to. So I scrolled down to the ramp, and nothing. The page didn't seem to have a link anywhere, and I was about to leave when I noticed that every word of the rant was its own hyperlink. So I clicked on one of them, and was sent to this white page with a very long list of links in the form of normalpornfornormalpeople.com/random letters. So I stopped for a minute, and asked myself if I really wanted to waste God knows how much time clicking random links that would likely give my computer a virus. I figured I'd try just for 5 minutes, just to see if anything came up. I clicked one of the links and was sent to another page. This page apparently had totally different URLs than the last one. I was about to say fuck this when I clicked the third link, and a video download came up. It was called peanut.avi. It was a 30-minute video of a man and a woman and a dog in a kitchen. The man would make a peanut butter sandwich, and the man would sit it down for the dog to eat. This is all that happened for 30 minutes. It was obvious that the cameraman had to stop filming and wait until the dog was ready to eat again, and the dog seemed rather sick by the end of it. I know what you're thinking. What the hell does this have to do with porn? I have no clue. I've seen a little over 2 dozen videos from this site, and the majority have had no sexuality at all. After watching peanut.avi, I went on a certain image board I frequently go on to play show and tell, like I always do with weird shit like this. But someone had already made a thread about it, some guy who had received the same chain letter that I did. The image board thread got lots of people with nothing better to do but dig through the site, and that's how I saw the videos. Most of those 2 dozen videos were very uneventful, and consisted of people talking to the camera in a room with nothing in it but a desk and a few chairs. I mean literally, nothing but walls, or in terms of furniture. The whole room had a very cold, sterile feel to it. The conversations were idle banter about previous jobs or embarrassing childhood moments. I kept expecting some kind of discussion about what the people were filming or what the site was about, but of course, nothing. You would never know these videos had anything to do with porn if you saw it out of context. I will say one thing though, the people who appeared in these videos were quite attractive. However, the other videos that actually did feature content which I was supposed to be called sexual is where things got weird. I'll give a brief description of the stranger videos. If you're really eaten up with curiosity, you could try to hunt them down on the torrent site. LickedClean.avi. A 10-minute video filmed by a hidden camera in which you see a repairman working on a washing machine for the first 2 minutes. When it's fixed, the repairman talks to the owner briefly and then leaves. The owner checks to make sure the repairman is gone, and he begins to lick all over the top of the washing machine. This goes on for 7 minutes. Jimbo.avi. A 5-minute video of an obese mime performing his act. It was actually pretty funny, particularly one part where he pretends to pull up a chair, then pretends that he breaks it because of his weight. In the last 30 seconds of the video, the camera cuts the static briefly, and then cuts back to the man sobbing quietly, still wearing the mime outfit and makeup. Some kind of obscure fetish. Diana.avi. 4-minute video in which the cameraman talks to a woman in a room different from the interview room. This room looks like the one you'd find in any normal person's house. Exactly where they are is never specified, as Diana only talks about her violin playing. She obsessively plays her violin, but she keeps getting distracted by something. I didn't notice this until someone on the image board thread posted about it, but if you look in a mirror at the background, you can see a fat man in a chicken mask masturbating. Jessica.avi. Another 4-minute cameraman video. This time he's outside a house talking to another young woman. They talk about canoe rides. The camera zooms out to reveal a city street behind them occasionally. The strange thing is that no one has been able to identify where the street is. Guesses have ranged everywhere from Europe to Australia to the Philippines, but there's yet to be a match for the street shown in the video. Tonguetie.avi. A 10-minute video. The first 5 minutes consists of an elderly woman making out with a mannequin. The video cuts out like it did in Jimbo.avi halfway through, and the scene is now a group of mannequins huddled together in a circle around the camera. The lights have been dimmed and the elderly woman is nowhere to be seen. From this point on, there is no sound. Stumps.avi. 5-minute long video where the man with no legs attempts to breakdance on a DDR mat in what looks like the kitchen from Peanut.avi, but much dirtier. There's a radio playing music in an unseen background, but it stops at the 4-minute mark and the man collapses on the mat in exhaustion. He breathes heavily and pleads with someone off screen to let him rest. The off-screen person becomes terrifyingly enraged and yells at him to keep dancing, which he does. You can hear this off-screen person begin to scream as the video ends abruptly. Privacy.avi. The woman from Diana.avi is masturbating on the mattress in the interview room, while the man from Stumps.avi walks around on his hands and knees while wearing some kind of goblin mask. The door in the room is always closed in the other videos, but it's now open. In the video, the only light is in the room and halfway dark. Near the end of the video, you can see an animal quickly run through the hallway. And finally, the last video was uncovered. Useless.avi. In this 18-minute video, a blonde woman from one of the previous interview videos is tied down to a mattress in an interview room. She attempts to scream, but her mouth is taped open. After 7 minutes, a man in a black suit and a mask opens the door, but does not enter. He holds the door open for an animal that was running in the hall in the previous video. It's revealed to be an adult chimpanzee, its hair shaved and its entire body painted red. It seemed to be starved and abused, with several wounds along its shoulder and back. When the chimp enters the room, the masked man closes the door behind it. The chimpanzee sniffs the air for a moment, it may have been blind, and notices the woman tied down to the mattress. It goes into a frenzy and begins to maul her. The assault goes on for a grueling 7 minutes until the woman finally dies. The chimp eats flesh from her corpse for 4 minutes as the video ends. The thread exploded with activity after this video was uncovered, and people discussed it long into the night. When I came back to the image board the next day, I found the thread was deleted. I tried to start another one, but they banned me. I tried emailing me the guy who sent me the chain letter with the site's URL. Sent him 5 messages and never got a response. I've tried to discuss this website in various places and I got banned frequently. The site itself was also deleted about 3 days after Useless.avi was uncovered, likely because someone contacted the authorities about it. The only proof that normal porn from normalpeople.com ever existed was a few screen caps people took. the video from the site that people saved and uploaded on torrents. The most popular of which being useless.avi, which found its way into a few gore sites. Whenever you upload them to, all of the videos from normalpeople.com got deleted after a while.